Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone is staying safe and sound in this pandemic, and that everyone is ready to learn something today. So before we get into it, I ask that you give me a big thumbs up, click that bell notification, and subscribe. Remember, I'm trying to reach at least 100 subscribers by the end of the month. So with your help, I feel that I can do that. Okay, so this week we're doing some special lessons. Yesterday I did one about Korean. On Tuesday I did something about the Democratic and the Republican Party. So with Halloween coming up, I thought that today I could do a video about the origin or the history of Halloween. Because many people, they know Halloween now, but they don't know about its history. So we're going to go over that. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see the screen. Okay, the history of Halloween, or All Hallows Eve, as it is sometimes referred to now, then it may have been, is a lot different now than it may have been celebrated many centuries ago. With October 31st coming around, again, I thought it'd be interesting to do that. I just said that. Okay, so the earliest trace. The earliest trace of Halloween is a Celtic festival, Samhain, which was the Celtic New Year. It was the Day of the Dead. And they believed the souls of the deceased would be available. Samhain means summer's end by the Celts. Celts, I think it's pronounced Celts, I'm not sure. In old Germanic and Celtic societies, what we call equinoxes and solstices mark the middle of the season, not the beginnings. So for us, it's the beginning. Therefore, if there exists an autumnal equinox, winter solstice, spring equinox, and a summer solstice, there are also the beginning of autumn, winter, spring, and summer. All of these 8 dates were important. Summer's end, which meant the beginning of winter, was an important time for people who survived on plants grown in the field and animals that were kept in pastures. This day marked the end of summer and the harvest and the cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death, which is the reason why the Druids believed that the spirits of those who died the preceding year roamed the earth the night of Samhain. Okay, so that's the first paragraph. Let me just make it a little clearer. Okay. The Druids celebrated this holiday with a great fire festival to encourage the dimming sun not to vanish. So they didn't know why the sun was vanishing. And people danced around bonfires to keep evil spirits away, but left their doors open in hopes that kind spirits of loved ones might join them around the hearths. On this night, divination was thought to be more effective than any other time. So methods were derived to ascertain who might marry, what great person might be born, who might rise to prominence, or who might die. Also during this celebration, the Celts wore costumes, typically consisting of animal heads and skins, and attempted to tell each other's fortune. Crops were burned and animals were sacrificed. The spirits were believed to either be entertained by the living or to find a body to possess for the incoming year. This all gave reasons as to why dressing up like ghosts, witches, ghosts, and goblins villagers could avoid being possessed. So the original reason why they dressed up in costumes was that people could not recognize them, so they wouldn't be possessed. You know, seems like a good idea. That's all I could say. Okay. So, by 43 AD, Romans had conquered the majority of the Celtic territory. For the 400 years they occupied Celtic lands, two Roman festivals, Feralia, which is the commemoration of the passing of the dead, and a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruits and trees. The apple served as a symbol for Pomona, and which might have been incorporated into Samhain by the practice of bobbing for apples. So now you know where bobbing for apples might have come from. For those of you who don't know what bobbing for apples is, they would put apples in a barrel of water and you'd have to stick your head in there and try to grab an apple. It's a fun game if you like apples. When local people converted to Christianity during the early Middle Ages, the Roman Catholic Church often incorporated modified versions of older religious traditions in order to win converts. So this is where I want you to pay attention. Pope Gregory IV wanted to substitute Samhain and All Saints' Day in 1835, but All Souls Day, which is November 2nd, we still have it, which is closer to resemblance to Samhain and Halloween today, was first instituted at the French monastery in 998 and quickly spread throughout Europe. In the 16th century, Christian village children celebrated the vigil of All Saints' Day by doing the dance macabre, which is a type of dance. The seven brethren whose grisly death is described in the 7th chapter of the Deuterocanonical book of 2nd Maccabees is also said to have resulted in children dressing up in grisly costumes to signify these deaths. Okay, so it may sound boring, but that's just the history, the previous history before the U.S. of Halloween, where it used to be, the real way it used to be. And notice that it was the Catholic Church who actually adopted Samhain to become All Souls Day. Okay. Halloween came to the U.S. when European immigrants brought their varied Halloween customs with them. In the second half of the 19th century, America was flooded with new immigrants, including the Irish fleeing from the potato famine in Ireland in 1846. So the Celts were actually from Ireland, if you know that. By combining Irish and English traditions, Americans began the trick-or-treat tradition. In the later 1800s, the holiday became more centered on community, and in the 1920s and the 1930s, Halloween became a secular, what does it say? But community, it was a non-secular, I believe, but community-centered holiday. So it became all about the community. It didn't become about religion or anything like that. Sorry about that. Sometimes this computer acts up on me. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. In the 1950s, leaders changed Halloween as a holiday aimed at the young to limit vandalism. This all led to what Halloween actually is like today. Okay, so they're telling you how it was in the 1950s, but they're still not telling you where we got trick-or-treat from. Okay, so here is where I'm going to tell you how this happened. So back in the 1950s it said that they used to do vandalism. They used to vandalize stores. They used to throw, I remember this, they used to throw eggs, shaving cream. So basically it wasn't a treat, it was more of a trick. They used to, cause a lot of damage. Okay, so somewhere in the 1950s, I believe, I don't know the exact date, and I believe it happened in Chicago. I may be wrong, but I think it was Chicago. You can check yourself if you want. What happened was there was a woman who had a candy store, okay, and she knew that the kids were going to vandalize her store. So she said to the kids, look, if you promise not to vandalize my store, I will give you candy, because she had a candy store. The kids agreed. The next day, all the other stores were vandalized, but not hers. So her neighbors were like, how come they didn't touch your store, but they touched our store? She told them what she did. She said she promised to give them candy in return for not vandalizing her store. Okay? And this is the inception of trick or treat. So if you give me a treat, I won't do a trick on you. So this is what happened. Now, nowadays, Halloween is just a commercialized holiday. It's like Kids' Day. Other countries have Children's Day. Basically, that's what it is. It's Children's Day. It has, people wear costumes. Years ago, they used to wear scary costumes. Now they don't wear scary costumes anymore. They wear superhero costumes and costumes of actresses or whatever, many different types of costumes. Nowadays, it's all for fun. There is no vandalism or anything else like that. It's just for fun and for candy. Don't forget that many special days, okay, and I repeat, many special days have become commercialized to where it's all about buying the product. So Halloween is all commercialized just so people buy candy. Of course people buy costumes and stuff like that, but the main thing that they want you to buy is candy. If you check right now, I'm sure that all the places, candy is on sale. Of course, this year it may be a little difficult to celebrate Halloween the normal way, but I'm sure that people will find a way to celebrate Halloween. I did hear about something going on where people are going to put like a purple pumpkin or something like that in the window so that you know that if you go to that place, it's safe. Okay. Some people are going to be leaving stuff outside, I heard. So I'm pretty sure that Halloween will still be celebrated this year, because the kids deserve it. Let's face it. They deserve it. They've been stuck in the house. They can still wear a mask. Even if they have a plastic mask, they could still wear a regular mask to keep them safe. So why not let them, have some fun? Just be careful. I mean, that's what they should be doing anyway. But as you can see, what started out as a pagan holiday is not a pagan holiday anymore. It's only a day to get candy. That's all there is. So for a lot of people that tell me, oh, I don't celebrate Halloween because it's pagan, this came directly from the internet. I'm not making any of this stuff up. The Catholic Church was the one who incorporated that holiday to have people convert from paganism to Catholicism. So yes, it used to be a pagan holiday, but not anymore. Now it's just a holiday for candy, for trick-or-treating, for costumes, to have fun. That's all it is. It's all about fun. Okay? So I hope that you enjoyed that video. I'm sorry that, I may have gone from left to right. You may not have been able to keep up with me, but I wanted to make sure that it was big enough so you could see it on the screen in the back. Hopefully I did that. Please like, please hit that bell notification, and please help me to achieve my goal of 100 subscribers by the end of the month. I will be having some videos next week. I probably will focus a little more on the election, but I have not really decided yet. I don't really give my opinions. Basically, I focus on facts. With that much said, thank you for the comments, and I hope to see you all again really soon. Stay safe.